Hell as a prison is an absolute embarrassing joke. It has no sidewalls, no ceiling, it's basically just a decorative corner thrown on the ground without a purpose. The stick figure walks in, looks around confused for exactly 3 seconds and simply walks out without any effort or resistance. They don't even have to climb, dig a tunnel or plan an elaborate escape with months of preparation. They just casually walk away like they're calmly leaving a supermarket after buying milk. Prison authorities stand there watching them leave in broad daylight, too embarrassed to publicly admit they genuinely thought this would work as a containment facility. L is the architectural equivalent of politely telling a prisoner, please stay here seated, and naively expecting them to comply out of personal honor or internal moral sense. Security rating, completely non-existent and ridiculous. Number 9. Hage. Hage tries to be a serious prison but fails miserably in all important structural aspects. It has 2 solid vertical walls, which sounds initially promising until you realize it's completely open at the top and bottom without any barriers. The stick figure doesn't even need to develop climbing skills or physical strength. They simply casually walk underneath the middle horizontal bar or easily climb over the top without sweating. It's like building an expensive prison and completely forgetting to add 2 critical components, a floor and ceiling. The stick figure is out in literally 5 seconds, probably sincerely wondering if this was a basic intelligence test instead of an actual containment cell. Hage is perfect for prisoners who are too polite and too courteous to escape, which isn't a demographic that exists in reality. Number 8. X. X encloses absolutely nothing useful. It's literally just 2 lines crossing in the middle without creating any actual contained or functional space. The stick figure briefly stands at the center intersection, calmly looks at the 4 available open exits in all directions and picks one completely at random to calmly walk through without hurry. No walls, no physical barriers, and nothing that remotely suggests containment or movement restriction. It's like drawing 2 cross sticks on the ground with chalk and officially declaring it with confidence, this is a certified maximum security prison. X works considerably better as historical sign of a prison used to be here long ago than an actual operational functional prison. Number 7. V. Inverted V creates a small shallow valley, which technically contains the stick figure if they stand patiently at the bottom of the pointed vertex. The fundamental problem is that the sloped walls are basically convenient escape ramps installed by accident. The stick figure simply walks upward on either of the 2 available slope slides like they're climbing a gentle soft hill in a public recreational park. It doesn't even require special climbing skills, equipment or prior physical training. It's literally just walking diagonally at a moderate angle. Prison authorities apparently thought a 45-degree angle would magically stop someone, which demonstrates a genuinely concerning understanding of basically elementary physics and the motivated human determination. Number 6. C. Now we're finally entering the territory of prisons that at least, honestly, try to function with some competence. C has a high curved wall that physically surrounds the stick figure on 3 complete sides. The obvious problem is that giant evident opening on the right side that anyone can see. The stick figure is briefly contained for a few moments and simply walks straight out without complications or resistance. It's exactly like a prison that it's structurally 90% complete, but the contractor ran out of budget before finishing the critical final wall. It technically delays the prisoner for a few seconds while they mentally process where exactly the exit is. But that's literally all it accomplishes. Number 5. U. U represents a solid respectable improvement. Genuinely high walls on 3 sides, only 1 narrow exit at the distant top. The stick figure is genuinely trapped at the deep bottom of this U-shaped pit. The problem is the walls. While impressively high, they have relatively rough surface that provides sufficient grip for determined fingers. A particularly determined stick figure with some natural athletic ability can laboriously climb upward eventually with persistence. U works as an effective prison for average and trained prisoners, but definitely does not stop anyone with specialized climbing training or extreme motivation to escape. Number 4. D. D intelligently combines the best of both prison worlds, a high straight wall and a protective warping curved wall. The stick figure is firmly trapped between these two surfaces with no obvious exit or clear escape route. The curved wall is particularly effective because any climbing attempt simply makes the stick figure inevitably slide back down the perfect smooth surface. They try jumping forcefully, bounce off the curve, fall painfully. They try climbing with determination, quickly lose grip, fall frustrated. The only minor structural weakness is if the stick figure is particularly persistent and physically strong. They might eventually find a creative way to use this straight wall to propel themselves upward. But it requires significant effort and multiple failed attempts. Number 3. B. B is genuinely diabolical because it cruelly divides the space. Two separate circular chambers stacked vertically one above the other. If you put the stick figure in either of the two cells, they're completely trapped in a small psychologically oppressive space. The perfectly curved walls make every desperate escape attempt inevitably slide back toward the center. What's psychologically cruel here is the dramatically reduced available space. The stick figure isn't just physically trapped, they're locked in a cell where they can barely move freely or stretch. They can clearly see the other chamber above or below, tantalizingly close but completely inaccessible. It's solitary isolation and oppressive claustrophobia combined in one design. Number 2. 8. The 8 laid horizontally on its side visually becomes the infinity symbol. And as a prison, it's brilliantly cruel in its simplicity. Two connected circular cells, completely closed without openings. You put the stick figure in either of the two available chambers and they're completely hermetically sealed. Perfectly smooth curved walls on all possible sides. No useful corners to use as support. No irregularities to desperately grab onto. The stick figure desperately jumps trying to reach the distant top edge, but the walls are too high and slippery to grip. Every jump predictably ends with them pathetically sliding back to the hard bottom. They try again and again tirelessly, sweating profusely, physically exhausting themselves. But physics simply isn't on their side. The perfect mathematical curve means there's absolutely no available grip point. It's completely hopeless and brutally effective as a design. Number 1. O. The absolute perfect prison without competition. A completely closed circle with uniformly high and perfect smooth walls around the entire circumference. The stick figure stands alone in the center, looking up, defeated at walls that curve away in all possible directions. They try running towards the wall to gain momentum and jump high, but the curve naturally decelerates them. They try climbing with determination, but their hands simply slip down the perfectly smooth surface without finding any useful grip. They jump vertically with all their available strength, but don't even remotely come close to the top edge. The height combined with the perfect curvature makes every attempt completely useless and frustrating. Most psychologically frustrating is that they can clearly see the open sky above. Freedom is visible but completely unreachable no matter what. O doesn't just physically trap the body, it psychologically destroys the spirit. It's the ultimate prison because it systematically eliminates all hopes of escape. There is no exit, no possible escape, no clever plan that works. Only smooth, endless curved walls surrounding you eternally.